Happy Friday, co-creators, and welcome to another edition of Teena Sessions, 365 inspirational quotes with me, your life coach, Teena Jones. How is everyone doing on this happy Friday? It's the weekend. I know you guys are very excited about that. Whether you're new or you're one of my loyal viewers, I want to thank each and every one of you for choosing to spend this time with me. Well, if you're ready, I'm ready to kick off today with a wonderful quote by Albert Einstein. Any fool can make things bigger, more complex, and more violent. It takes a touch of genius and a lot of courage to move in the opposite direction. Today we're going to talk about what are you for, not what you are against. I was on the elevator this morning. I live in a condominium and it's a mid-rise. So I'm on the 4th floor and get on the elevator to go down to the lobby, and there's a sign inside of the elevator that we're going to have a owners meeting. And so a lot of the units are owned, some are leased. And so there have been some complaint about HOA and, some things that they need to improve on. So as I'm looking at the sign, my son, commented, wonder what the meeting is going to be about. I said, well, it says, are you frustrated? I said, sounds like it's going to be a lot of complaining going on in this meeting. And so I wanted to talk to you about that. I talked to my son when we got in the car about pushing against things. I like what Wayne Dyer, he said once upon a time, he was in Hawaii at a restaurant, and it was right when when the laws came out in different cities that you couldn't smoke inside of restaurants. Because once upon a time, you could smoke in restaurants. And so around that time, they were beginning to put an ordinance out where that couldn't be done. So in the restaurant, there was a sign. Please enjoy your cigarettes out on the patio. And he thought, that's it. That is how you force something and not have to push against anything else. Normally, people would say, no smoking, right? But they said, please enjoy your cigarettes out on the patio. So I started thinking, about every area of our life, from war. Mother Teresa was asked to join the big protests against the war of Vietnam. And she said, if you're having a peace march, I'll join that. But I don't want to join any wars. Wars begets more wars, you see. Even she knew the fundamental reason of why you can't push against things. It's going to have a boomerang effect, and it's going to come right back at you, and it's going to be more things to push up against. And so it's really a clicking in the mind of what is the opposite? What am I trying to accomplish? What is the goal? And this is for you that may have attended some against meetings, or you might want to hold some against meetings. Find out what is the agenda. What do you want? That is how you begin any type of meeting, whether it's a family meeting, a work meeting, a homeowners meeting. What are you for? What is the agenda? What do you want? Period. Going back to Mother Teresa, I want peace. I want this. I want that. Okay, so let's establish that first. Not what you are against. Oftentimes we believe that if we protest against something, because remember, what you resist will persist. It's the law. It's a law of nature. It's a law of attraction. What you resist will persist. You will get more and more of it. So what are you saying yes to? That's what I want to know. Not what you're saying no to. What are you saying yes to? Think about it in your own life. Let's first start with the list of things you are against, the things you're saying no to. If you're saying no to things at work, your boss, things you don't like about your boss, you saying no to the wages that you may make, the salary that you have? Are you saying no to your homeowners association? Are you saying no to your spouse about certain issues? If you write those things down, you can think of the opposite of those things and start being for higher wages. Start being for the good things that you want in your relationship. It's a sentiment that has to change, but it makes a world of difference. You have no idea. If we had this mindset, if we really utilize this great muscle that we have called our imagination, we would never have any wars. Period. Wars in our home, wars in our community, wars in our cities, and wars in our world. They would cease. That's how powerful our minds are. They did a study in Washington, D.C., I believe it was Georgetown University, about a group of people, I believe it was 2,000 people came together to meditate for this situation that was occurring in another country. And they talked about how powerful when all these minds come together and focused on what they wanted. And it was peace. And how they got the results that they were seeking. Because they all came together with one mind. Not shouting, not pushing against, but what is it that we want? How can we all utilize this great muscle that God has possessed us all with for the greater good of all, not just for ourselves? But if we want to end any kind of war, we first have to end the war in our minds. There's a war that goes on in each and every one of us if we don't have a handle on it. We're either in the past or we're in the future, and we're fighting against it all the time. I should do this. No, I shouldn't do that. I can't believe he did that. Oh my God, he did that. I should do this. I should respond this way. It's a steady war that's unconscious that goes on if you don't turn it off. I can't believe she told me that. Oh my God, she better leave me alone. I know what I'm going to do. If she don't stop this, I'm going to do that. Steady war. If you're honest with yourself, you have a war going on inside of you. This steady back and forth. But it doesn't have to be that way. That's the good news. You can begin to harness your mind by focusing on what do you want, not on what you don't want. I've said before, we have more than 64,000 thoughts a day. And most of the time, it's focused on what we are against, what we do not want. That's why I press on Teena sessions so often to meditate, to use your journal, to create a new story for yourself. Because you have to have something to extinguish those negative thoughts, those war thoughts. You got to have something to combat it, or you're not going to get the results that you are seeking, you see. You're not going to have the manifestation because you're so against everything. You're going to have that kind of manifestation. You're going to get manifestation. It's just not what you are wanting. You're going to create haphazardly, but you will create. If you keep focusing on what's going wrong, you're going to keep focusing on that. You're going to keep getting it. And it's just that simple. We've got to start with ourselves. We can't allow our minds to go big and say, okay, well, how can I, end the war in the whole world? Start with you, end the war inside of you, end the war inside of your family, end the war at your job. It just kind of mushrooms after that. It's like a domino effect. If I heal me, then everything I touch is like a domino effect after that. So everything begins with me. Everything begins with you. And that's how we begin. Do no longer participate in meetings that are against things. You know, don't be against. What are you for? What are you for? Because you'll just be running around in circles. It's like a dog chasing its tail or a dog barking at its shadow. It's useless. You see, you're just giving the egos opportunity to have fun. Going to meetings like that is an ego's playground. Everybody's barking at each other. Everybody's fussing back and forth and trying to prove their point and who's right and who's wrong. Nothing is being accomplished though. And so begin with yourself. You can either not attend, which is something that I would do because there's probably more people there that is against than what they're for. But if you want to attend something like that, then you could be the pinch that's needed to change that whole atmosphere, But you've got to stand strong because the opposition is strong, okay? And you've got to say, I want peace. I want to focus. Here's an agenda list of what it is that I want. And these are the things we can do to get what we want. See how beautiful that is? It's more in harmony with the universe. And that's where we all should want to be, in harmony with the universe, in alignment with the universe, so that we can manifest in a beautiful way. Manifest joy, manifest peace, manifesting right action. That's what we want at the end of the day. All right? So today's affirmation is, I focus on what I want. All right? I hope you do the same. I focus on what I want. Well, it's time for the guided meditation. Let's go ahead and get in positions. Put your headphones on if that's what you normally do. Go ahead and close your eyes while I prepare the music. Take a nice deep breath all the way in. Exhale, release, and let go. Once again, take a nice deep breath all the way in. Exhale, release, and let go. I now focus my mind on what I want. And this makes so much sense to me. When I focus my mind on what I want, I get more of the things that I desire. I'm now on the right track. And everything is moving as it should. It feels so good to be on the leading edge of creation. It feels so good to be a co-creator. I love God. I love my new life. I love my new way of thinking. As I look upon my life, I know that the universe is for me. I allow my mind to focus on everything that is good, everything that makes me smile. And I'm learning to train my mind one moment at a time. It feels so good to know this knowledge, and I practice it on a daily basis. I feel elevated and powerful when I feed my mind positive thoughts. I am on the right track. Everything is unfolding for me now. The universe is on my side, and I am on my side. And I know that all is well. And so it is. Thank you all. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.